from the red carpet premiere of Corsicana, the new Western film starring Isaiah Washington and a wonderful cast and crew. Come with us, we do a couple of interviews and find out what it's like to work on this movie.
I grew up in right outside of Louisville, Kentucky.
Okay.
So it's horse ranches. I grew up on a horse ranch from age 10 on. That's when my dad kind of returned back to his roots. We lived in the city for a little bit, and then when I was about 10, he was ready to get back out and get some land. So from age 10 on, I started cowboying, which is funny, which kind of leads me into how I got on the film. I was in, we shot this during the height of COVID, and I was in New Orleans for a month. We were one of 9 films in all of America working at that time because, so many people hadn't figured out yet what to do. And I came home, my bag was still packed. I'd been home for a day, and I got a call from Amber McNutt, the executive producer, and she was like, "Hey, we had one of our lead roles that we lost the guy. Are you by chance available?" I said, "I just got home today. You're in luck, I am available." And then her next question was, "Do you know how to ride horse? Do you know how to cowboy ride horses and shoot guns?" And I said, "Is a frog's ass watertight?"
So it wasn't a stretch for you. You were right at home.
Yeah, it wasn't a stretch at all. They'd all been training together for about a week. Okay. All the bad guys and Isaiah. They'd all been together for about a week already, doing weapons training, getting to know their horses, getting to know the horse trainers. And so I got thrown into the mix. I literally drove out to Corsicana from Dallas, about an hour drive. I got out there and they said, "Go right over to wardrobe, see wardrobe, put your clothes on, go over and get your wardrobe approved from the director, and then go right into weapons training." And then the next day was day 1. So I started filming the next day. I'd never ridden my horse or been on my horse until we actually started filming. So
does
we had to get to know each other fast.
I was going to say, did it take some time for you and the horse to kind of get to know each other? Is that the way I've never ridden a horse, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, by the end of it, you're like, you just figure out how the horse moves, how to sit in the saddle, and how much you got to neck rein. Some of them, they want a lot. Some of them, they just barely touch it. It's like cars almost. Some of them are sensitive, and some of them, you got to really hit the pedal. And horses are the same way, and they have moods, so they can be in a bad mood or a good mood. And, your horse can be in a great mood one day and do everything you want. Another day, you can just be like, "No, I ain't doing that."
Okay.
So,
so what was it like for you to learn your lines so quickly, since you had to go from being on a different project, being on a day, get into the set the next day?
Yeah. Well, lucky for me, we started. So, have you seen the movie yet?
Not yet.
Okay, we started. So the opening scene in the movie you're going to watch for when you first meet the outlaws. So the opening scene of the film is Bass, and then after we see who Bass is, then it goes right to the outlaw gang, and it's their big thing. So you see who he's going to be chasing, who he's after. That opening scene was actually, we shot that on the first day of filming, and so it's a lot of action. So the dialogue was, a line here, a word here. So it's really easy to kind of, to just ease into it. But yeah, I was on a soap opera in 2008, All My Children. I did 38 episodes, and there'd be days I'd show up for the soap and 14 pages, and they got 2 hours to learn it. So it's like a muscle, memorizing lines, and that's the easiest part of acting, honestly. Figuring out the character, figuring out what you want, what you're after. That's what makes the performance alive. Anyway, it's not just anybody can memorize words and say them. So words are always secondary to what you're really digging into to figure out who your character is.
So the authenticity of the characters that you play, where do you develop those characteristics from? How do you bring that character forward?
That's a great question. So with something like this, where I'm playing a cowboy and on horseback and wearing my cowboy hat, inspiration just comes from our roots. So it's always tell actors, I'm like, you know, once you live some life and done some things, you got more tools in your toolbox. So, you know, I'm not a cowboy per se now. You know, I kind of rebelled against that. As a kid, I liked it for a little bit, and the more my dad, as a kid, tried to force me to be a cowboy, then the more I was like, no, I want to listen to gangster rap music and go to the club. You know what I mean? So it was like, I don't want that. But, you know, what I love about it now is like, it opens doors for me, because now I'm happy that I learned those things, and it helps make me more well-rounded. You know, I can have range as an actor. You know, I can play different parts. Yeah, so it was, you know, it was, you know, literally it was like riding a bike, but like riding a horse.
Gotcha. And last question for you: where do you see yourself in 5 years professionally?
5 years professionally? Well, to be honest with you, that's a funny question to answer, because it used to be, when I was a younger man, my whole livelihood was surrounded with where I'm going to be professionally. It was kind of like idol worship in my life, and it was like, this is my identity, this is who I am. And now, man, I have a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and because of that, that's where my identity is. And I just trust Him to tell me what doors to walk through, where I'm going to go, and to make the connections. And I know that all things work together for the good. So.
Can I kill him now?